You're watching Omaha Bound, inside the Men's College World Series.
Welcome into Omaha Bound. I am Jacob Morris. We have a fantastic show laid out for you today. To no surprise, we talk Gage Wood, more Gage Wood, and some more Gage Wood after that. An incredible day here at Charles Schwab Field. Wood tossing just the third no-hitter in Men's College World Series history, the first 9-inning individual no-hitter in Razorback history since 1996, back when Richie Nye did it. And Evan Kamiko joins the show to give a little bit more of an in-depth perspective on the feet from an Arkansas perspective. And then Courtney Mims joins as well to take us back 2 years ago on when she did a story on Wood's journey from Batesville to Arkansas. Fantastic stuff there. Plus, we take you inside the locker room. So let's not wait around. First, let's talk a little bit about Wood. 19 strikeouts, obviously a career high for him. Obviously an Arkansas Men's College World Series record. And how about just a Men's College World Series record in general? He was dicing up the racers, and yet Wood, if you know him, he's got a way about him. In post-game press conferences, he's relaxed, he's calm, and he handled availability afterwards in a way that really only he could.
No, the only special thing was I didn't want to go home. That's it.
Gage, can you just both take me through that moment right after the final strikeout?
We're not going home. We're playing. We get to play tomorrow night. But it was pretty cool.
Like, where's the ball right now?
I gave it to my dad. Said Happy Late Father's Day.
Did you feel any added pressure when you know you're working on a no-hitter perfect game in the later innings?
Yeah, when I hit the guy in the foot, I knew I screwed it over.
Was that the plan, to locate it on the corners and edges so that they couldn't really get a good swing on it? And is that what you guys felt like was happening?
I was just hearing fastball middle in my ear and throwing it over the plate.
I mean, do you have anything to say to Hog Nation back home?
We're not done yet.
We're not done. That is the key for Arkansas, taking down Murray State 3-0. The no-hitter, incredible, but what was so impressive about the way that Wood handled it from on the field to in post-media availability afterwards is the focus always on the win. Arkansas surviving elimination Monday. Now 3 games in 3 days instead of 4 games in 4 days. But regardless, afterwards, teammates couldn't stop talking about what an incredible performance Wood put together. We had a chance to be in the locker room just minutes after the performance, after the win, and his teammates as blown away as we all were by what they saw at Charles Schwab Field today.
I don't know that I can put it in words, to be honest. That was something that he's worked towards his entire life. And he has, like I said about DVH the other day, he just pours his heart and soul in this program, and he's not ready to be done playing. And we knew today he's going to go out there and he's going to give it his all. I don't think we were expecting that, but, I mean, that was freaking incredible, and I was so happy to be a part of it. I'm super happy for him, proud of him, and all the work he's put in to get to that moment. It's awesome.
You know, born and raised in Arkansas, and we've seen pictures of him wearing Arkansas gear from birth pretty much. So I think, you know, wearing this uniform representing the state means the world to him, and I don't think he'd pass this up for anything. So just an unbelievable teammate, and like I said, like one of the hardest workers you'll ever come across, and just honestly a role model to a lot of us. Really, really cool guy.
Honestly, around the 4th, 5th inning, I was like, he's getting in his groove. They're not really hitting him. So I was like, damn, he's kind of got a perfect game going. And then, I mean, he hit that batter, but I was like, still got the no-hitter. And, I mean, I'm glad for Gage. It was fun being out there.
I mean, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen in person, baseball-wise. Seeing Hagan in Arlington last year punch 17 in 6 innings, I thought I would never see something like that again. And he goes, 19 and 9 innings, no hit, and biggest game of our season. So, yeah, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
You kind of see him out there cruising, just having a really good game. And you know, you try not to talk about it or really say anything just because, you know, that's how the baseball world is. You know, you don't want to jinx him or be that guy. But, you know, everybody kind of feels it and you kind of notice it happening. So, yeah, I mean, we all definitely knew what was going on. And pretty early on in the game, and we were like, man, this could be pretty special.
You can catch all those interviews on our website. They really are worth a listen. All these guys so happy for what Wood accomplished and happy to be playing another day here in Omaha. But another cool aspect of post-game today was we had a chance to chat with pitching coach Matt Hobbs. This is a guy that's seen every step of development for Wood, from the guy that came out of Batesville to the guy that threw 119 pitches and a no-hitter on the Men's College World Series stage. And something about Gage Wood, if you've watched him, you catch it immediately immediately. It's his competitive and fiery nature. He's loud on the mound, and Coach Hobbs talked about the moment in the 8th inning where he had to do his job as the pitching coach and go up and see if he was feeling all right in the 8th inning and if he wanted to go back out for the 9th.
The last 2 innings are just adrenaline, right? I mean, I went and asked him in the 8th. I said, man, I got to ask. And he just looked at me like he was about to kill me or something. So I walked away. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning on taking him out, but he was pretty emphatic that I wasn't going to be taking him out. And you got to let a guy have a moment, right? I mean, he'll remember this the rest of his life. And I hope so will everybody that was here to watch it. And I'm not, he was fine. The velocity was still good. His stuff was still good. I feel like I have to ask in that moment just because I'm his pitching coach, and it's, the farthest he's been for us this season. And there was no way I was taking him out of that game.
There was no way on the face of the earth that Wood was coming out of that game. His teammates talked about it. Coach Hobbs talking about it there as well. But another aspect that made this moment so special today for Gage and for Arkansas is, again, no matter how many times you say it, it doesn't make it any less special. This is a Batesville kid, a guy that has been through the ringer and understands what this Arkansas program means and what a moment like today means to the Arkansas program. And Coach Hobbs afterwards made sure to talk about the fact that Gage was injured this year. He had a chance to maybe just say, hey, I'm going to hang it up and get ready for draft prep. Instead, he came back and was ready and wanted to deliver on a stage like this for his team.
What I saw was a guy that didn't have to do this. Like, at no point did he have to do this. No one was going to push him and make him come back. And he wanted it for the team so badly that he was willing to. This is his draft year. And he's a junior, and he's going to get someone should pick him really good. And that's a gamble. But it wasn't for him. Like, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he was dead set on coming back to help the team. And I hope it says everything that needs to be said about him as a competitor. It's going to be hard to top. Like, I saw Hagen Smith strike out 17 down in Arlington, and I remember telling Coach Van Horn after that game, I don't know that we'll ever see that again. And I told the pitching staff at the end, I was like, we just saw that times about 5. That's one of the good. That's the greatest single performance I've ever seen in 22 years of coaching.
Just unreal stuff from Gage Wood today. Again, I'm just going to say the stat line over and over and over again. 119 pitches, 19 strikeouts, and a no-hitter. Just the 3rd all-time in Men's College World Series play. He was one back foot breaking ball away from throwing a perfect game. Just unbelievable, the performance that we saw from Gage Wood today. We're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, Evan Kamiko joins the show, and we just keep talking about Gage Wood and the Razorbacks. Don't go anywhere. Omaha Bound is back right after this. Welcome back into Omaha Bound. Evan Kamiko joining the show now. And Evan, it was a historic day at the Chuck. That might be underselling it somehow. Gage Wood goes ahead and tosses the 3rd no-hitter in Men's College World Series history. Arkansas gets a 3-0 win over Murray State in the process. It was something that when it was playing out, you kind of couldn't believe your eyes as it continued to happen over and over again. And obviously the back foot breaking ball breaks up the perfect game in the 8th inning. But this was a performance where Gage Wood was in control from start to finish.
Yeah, it can't be understated that this was the 3rd time that this has happened and first since 1960. An unbelievable thing. And I know you've said unbelievable a lot, but it's the first time, so I could say unbelievable at least once or twice right now. But for Gage Wood, like, this whole season's been kind of ironic because in the beginning, you knew he was going to be the number 2. You knew he was going to be one of the weekend guys and a starter. And then he gets hurt against Michigan, and then you go, oh boy, when's he going to come back? He waits 2 months, and finally he gets his moment. They build him up through the end of the season so he can be ready for it today. But honestly, for Gage, it wasn't about throwing a no-hitter when he woke up this morning. It was about living to see another day.
The only special thing was I didn't want to go home.
No-hitters are hard to come by at any level of baseball. But Gage Wood did something in Omaha that hasn't been done since 1960.
The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. Gage Wood no-hits him, and the Hogs win it 3-0. The greatest game ever pitched at the University of Arkansas here in downtown Omaha.
A call that will not only be remembered forever in College World Series history, but as a signature moment for this team in the postseason.
The game of baseball is pretty crazy, but I had all the confidence in the world in Gage. Just seeing him compete and knowing the type of person he was. I was kind of thinking about it before he went out for the 9th inning. I just know that was something he wanted more than ever, and with his determination and just the type of person he is, I knew that he was going to get it done.
I know that's huge for him. He loves Arkansas, he loves the state, and the fans are supportive. They couldn't ask for much more, really.
An Arkansas kid etched his name into college baseball lore, but behind the 19 strikeouts, he's a teammate adored by all.
I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It's got to mean the world to him. Definitely something that, these Arkansas fans will never forget. This is something that will go down in the history books, and we'll be telling our kids about this someday. So it's pretty cool to be able to be on the same team and share this moment with them. It's pretty cool.
Not one bit. I would say he's probably the most competitive guy on the team. We'll do some competitions or stuff in the weight room, and he'll get mad if his team doesn't win and might crash out a little bit, and that just kind of shows you the competitive nature in the guy.
And the celebration was as awesome in person as it was on the TV.
I ran straight to Gage. I saw everybody just, after we win, we just kind of like meet up or whatever. I was trying to jump on Gage. That's an awesome moment for him.
We're so happy for him, man. We all sprinted straight from the bullpen just to get to him, give him a big old hug, because he knows what this program means. He knows what it's missing. And, I'm just so incredibly happy for him.
Oh, he's a great teammate, stand-up guy, and something like that couldn't happen to a better person, and he'll go down in Razorback history now.
Jacob, what's crazy about this whole thing is the first time the college game got metal bats, 1974.
Okay.
So the last time there was a no-hitter thrown, they were using wood bats. And it just shows you how different the game is then and now. And for Gage to be able to do what he was able to do today with 19 strikeouts, it's impressive, it's insane, it's unbelievable. And really, talking to the players after the game, they said, we thought Hagen Smith's 17 Ks in 6 innings last year was the best thing we'd ever see. Today, topped that.
I love the fact that got brought up a lot. Coach Hobbs brought up Hagen's performance. Ben Bybee brought up Hagen Smith's performance. Aiden Jimenez, who was in the other dugout for Oregon State, brought up Hagen's performance. And the point was that when we saw that, you said, I don't think that's Evan. You and I were in the building for that too. I don't think that's getting topped. And then Gage just keeps on rolling. And it was the type of thing where you kind of open the stats and you said 9 strikeouts this early. Really 11, 13, 15 strikeouts. And then people start murmuring in the press box. 17's the record. When he hits 18, you say, I can't believe this is getting even crazier. It's the type of performance that everybody's going to remember for a long time, because what makes this so special is it's not just Gage going down in Arkansas history, but to your point about metal bats, about the 3rd Men's College World Series no-hitter ever, this is college baseball history as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that you always want to see college baseball history anytime you go to an event like this, really anytime you get to cover a cool baseball game, but you never think you're actually going to see it until it's over. And in the moment, I'm thinking, all right, well, he's gone 9 up, 9 down. That's pretty impressive. We've seen that before. Okay, now he's at 12. Now he's at 15. Oh, my God, he's at 18. Is he going to throw a perfect game right now? And you don't want to say it in the press box because you're always nervous. And it's the same statement that the guy said. They're like, we don't really want to go talk to him. But it's just amazing what happened today. And you still don't wrap your head around what happened in that game against Murray State. And, again, all credit in the world goes to Murray State for what they were able to do this postseason, the amount of runs they were able to put up. They go and put up like 19 runs in one game against Ole Miss, and then they go do what they did in Durham last week against Duke. And for Arkansas to come out, it was a statement win for Arkansas.
A statement that Arkansas really needed. And you make a great point about Murray State, a group that had scored 8 or more runs 5 different times. That's the stat we put up in the postseason against teams like Georgia Tech, like Ole Miss, and Duke as well. A Murray State squad that has scored in bunches this postseason, and Gage does what he does. But a statement win is right, because this is an Arkansas team that has momentum now, and I don't know any better way to build off of something than when your pitcher goes out and throws a no-hitter.
Yeah, momentum is a dangerous thing, especially in baseball. Now to keep an eye on something else, too. The UCLA-LSU matchup got delayed. So who knows what's going to happen with that matchup, when that's going to end, when that's going to be resumed as the time that we're filming this. But it's really interesting to see what ripple effect that could have, because for Arkansas, you now have momentum. You've got your offense. You got 10 hits in that game as well. And you save all of your pitching. There's a chance that you could see Zach Root and Gabe Gackle in the next game. So for Arkansas, you couldn't have asked for a better 2 game. It's kind of a theme this whole postseason that the pitching just continues to work out super well, game after game after game, and now you're fully rested because you got to win a couple more games to get to that championship series.
You obviously would have liked to win game 1, but that's the great point for Arkansas. If you're painting the path, if you are the optimists of all optimists, it's that you look at the pitching situation and you say, we've used Gabe Gackle, and we've used Gage Wood. Everybody else is still on the board. That's what makes Arkansas so dangerous at this moment.
Absolutely. It's the pitching that's going to win you a championship. It's how can these guys stay healthy? Can they get back on the field? Can they keep their pitch count low? And they were able to do that.
An unreal performance from Gage Wood today. That is Evan Kamiko. We're going to take another quick break here on Omaha Bound. When we come back, Courtney Mims joins the show to talk even more Gage Wood. Stick with us. You don't want to miss it. And just like that, we are back on Omaha Bound. You know her, it's Courtney Mims rejoining the show. And Courtney, the whole entire show, for good reason, has been about Gage Wood. A performance that it's not hyperbole. I felt privileged to be here. I know you probably felt privileged to be here. It was history at Charles Schwab Field. But the cool aspect about Gage Wood is you actually had an opportunity 2 years ago to kind of peel back the curtain on his journey as an in-state kid to get to Fayetteville.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to go to Batesville, where he grew up, where he was raised, and talk to not only his parents, who are awesome, by the way, but also his former high school coach and former training staff as well. And all of them had kind of the same thing to say about Gage, is that they were not shocked about a moment like this. They were waiting for something to happen that was of this magnitude. I don't know if they exactly predicted a no-hitter in the Men's College World Series. I don't think anybody could
First
predict
one in
that.
65 years, just predict that?
No, I don't think they knew maybe that much, but they knew he was going to do big things at Arkansas. And that's because, you might remember this, Jacob, but he was actually committed to Kansas State before he was committed to Arkansas. And immediately when Arkansas offered him, he said, not going there. Sorry, Wildcats. I gotta go. Gotta go the hill. And that's exactly what he did, because this guy bleeds red. I mean, he is the definition of a Razorback fan. He was at the stadium for games growing up. He watched, he loved Darren McFadden and those guys. And so he just loves Arkansas. And so this, no surprise for his family.
He's one that will always stick out as he's just different.
He's pretty much born with a baseball in his hand.
I don't know of anyone that's ever outworked him. If I told him we were playing the St. Louis Cardinals that day, he wanted the ball and was assuming he was going to beat them.
From a young age, it was clear Gage Wood was going to be a pretty good baseball player.
He was about 9. We started the live arm. He could just pitch the ball. I mean, it wasn't that he did throw hard, but it was just, he could locate. They'd say, his nickname was Fathead. And they would say, Fathead, throw it inside. I mean, he could throw it inside.
Even though Wood would play any position on the field that was needed of him, his high school coach, Kelly Rush, knew he was destined to be a pitcher at the next level.
He knew how to pitch and had multiple pitches, fastball, breaking ball, changeup. And then when the elite velocity came along, when he kept working and got that, then that pushed him to the next level right there.
So what made Gage different than other pitchers at the high school level? His mom says it's his dog mentality.
Dog, absolute dog.
He's driven, and he's one of those. I think that as long as the social media is saying that he can't do it, they're just pushing him harder. The more you tell him he can't do, the more he's going to do.
It's those kinds of comments that have fueled Wood and the reason why he gets fired up on the mound.
There's so many people that doubted that he was SEC quality, even Division I quality. He's finally, I deserve to be here, watch me.
But at the end of the day, he's just still a boy from Arkansas, and playing for the Hogs just means more to him.
He's a good old boy, likes to fish and hunt, and he loves the Hogs, and so I think it always just means a little extra special when they are a hometown kid.
It's still wild to think that was 2 years ago. I mean, you could play that now and people would go, are they talking about this moment that just happened in the College World Series? No, they were talking about moments 2 years ago with him as a freshman on this Razorback team. It just shows how special of a baseball player he is.
And I think the moment for everybody that showed the connection that he has to this state is in a moment that will be the peak for, or would be the peak for any pitcher pretty much ever, career-wise, being the third guy to ever throw a no-hitter in the Men's College World Series, the first Arkansas pitcher since 1996 to throw an individual 9-inning no-hitter. What is the first thing that he does after throwing strikeout 19? It's point to his chest in that Arkansas logo. This is a guy that loves the state and loves this program.
Absolutely, and that's why you want to see those guys have success. That's why you can root for them, and it's also why in the locker room, guys are so willing to rally around a guy like Gage Wood. They're so excited to see him have that moment because not only is is he a Razorback through and through? I mean, you just saw it in that story there. There's a picture of him at the Hog statue outside Razorback Stadium with a Darren McFadden jersey on. Yeah, Wood, he got that Wood. Yeah, that's Gage has heard it all. And it's just so special because not only is he, again, an amazing player. We could go down, up and down all his accolades and everything that he's done so far as an Arkansas Razorback. He's a good person. And I think that's why everybody is so excited for this moment, that it couldn't have happened to a better person.
All of his teammates spoke about that. Ben Bybee, I think a phrase that was really impressive was a guy that's been with this program for a couple of years. He described Gage Wood as a role model for the entire team. I think that stands out. I also think Coach Hobbs post-game saying, hey, we didn't pick captains this year. If we would have, we would have picked Gage Wood. I think those two aspects really show what type of guy Gage is. And another aspect that Coach Hobbs talked about is this is a guy that was injured in the season and a guy that knew at that point, hey, I'm going to get drafted high, and could have hung it up and said, hey, I'm done. I'm going to prepare for the MLB draft. I have a vast career in front of me. Instead, he fought back to be on this stage. And again, like you said, I don't think he could have predicted he'd have a performance like this, but he wanted to be able to help his team on college baseball's biggest stage, and he did that big time today.
Well, I go back to what his high school coach said, and you, again, just heard it in that piece there I did 2 years ago, and this is kind of why they knew something like this would happen, because he said, it doesn't matter who he's going up against. It doesn't matter the stage. He could be going, we could tell him, hey, you're going up against the St. Louis Cardinals today. Okay, I'm going to pitch a no-hitter. That's what he thinks. That's his mentality when he goes out to the mound. It's whatever you need of me, whatever I can do to help this team win. And in the post-game press conference, that's all he cared about. It wasn't like he was like, look at me, look at me, look at me. It was, I'm so glad that we're playing another day here in Omaha because of my performance.
We played you the compilation earlier of Gage in that press conference. He's unique in that post-game setup. He's relaxed. He's just kind of matter-of-fact and straightforward, but you make a great point. The first thing that he was asked, what was your reaction in that moment? And it wasn't, oh my goodness, I just threw a no-hitter. Oh my goodness, I just threw a no-hitter on a national stage. It was, we get to play another day. That's the focus for Arkansas, and what's so special is that is clearly the focus for Gage as well.
I just love it. It's that, and then also, I shouldn't have hit that guy. Because, perfection is something that he also strives towards. I know that from talking to his high school coach and talking to his parents. He has always been doubted his entire life, right? There were people that told him growing up, because he was from Batesville, very small town, only a few traffic lights, that he's not going to pitch D1. He's not going to be a D1 pitcher. And so, look at me
Where
now.
you at now?
How do you like me now? How do you like me now?
The hill is steep for Arkansas, but it just got a little less steep. Arkansas takes down Murray State 3-0 on elimination. Monday, Gage Wood tosses 19 strikeouts and tosses the third no-hitter in Men's College World Series history, the first Arkansas 9-inning no-hitter since 1996. That's all the time we have on Omaha Bound. For Courtney Mims, I am Jacob Morris. We'll be back to talk to you tomorrow.